Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Kasha Kynes, and I am CEO and founder of EBV Global Institute. And today we're talking about 5 do's and don'ts of EBV supplementation. It's a loaded topic. Today I prepared pearls from my nearly 2 decade experience, expertise, training in my clinical practice with supplementation, and that includes EBV supplements. So let's get started. Supplements are a huge multi-billion-dollar industry. So every single store you go to, even your Safeway, will have some supplements. Everybody's selling them. When it comes to chronic EBV, you have to be so careful about where you resource your supplements, because actually proper supplementation can be the difference between getting better or not. Literally, supplements for EBV can be profoundly effective, but there's a lot of people that tell me again and again, I'm on 20 different supplements. Nothing is making a difference. I'm still miserable. How many times over the years have I heard that? So now we know from studies, and I know that because I see that as well, confirming it for you, that when your nutritional status drops, so if you don't eat very well, if you have nutritional deficiencies, even just a selenium deficiency, when it drops, your virus becomes more virulent, more aggressive. And we also know from studies, from governmental recommendations, from public health studies, we know we are very deficient, and we know certain nutrients are depleted in stress by medications. So pretty much anybody that you look at, anybody that I would assess, I would recommend get on a good B vitamin complex, get on a good omega-3, get on a good multi. Just about anyone needs a little bit of support for these. Now, when it comes to EBV, um, like I said, there's common pitfalls that I'm going to explain today, and there's things that you can sort through. Um, and so I want to make sure that you have a big picture. We're not going to talk about dosages today because that's a completely different conversation. And it's all in my book, EBV Solution, which is on Amazon. So go ahead and grab that if you don't have that. There's a whole chapter on that. So let's jump into those don'ts and 5 do's. Let's start with 5 don'ts. Number one, cheap is cheap. Do not buy your supplements. Don't be tempted to buy it because the price is good. There is a reason that supplements like coenzyme Q10 or omega-3, if they are good company, good brand, good quality, clean, reputable, they will be more expensive. You're paying for the result. You're not paying for the price. Uh, so the whatever the company claims on the label up front, please don't be fooled. We look on the back label, and you're not trained to look at it, so you will not know what you're looking at. And it's important that you know that we realize that industry is really tricky. They can get away with a lot. Number two, stay away from general stores like your Safeway or Target. They don't specialize in supplements. They don't understand the dosing, the forms of, they may have the cheapest calcium carbonate, which is not really absorbed, but it's detrimental if you actually consume it. They may have contaminated products. They may have low dosage. They may have combination of omegas that you don't need in omega 3. It's a mess. Um, they don't understand how to store omega-3 or probiotics. So you may get a probiotic from your store, and it's all dead because it hasn't been properly stored. They don't discriminate. They just get it from a supplier, put it on the shelf. They don't know anything about supplements. They're not trained. So you may get an omega-3. You can get a probiotic that actually is mislabeled, because I've seen studies when uh, The claims on the product do not correspond with what was actually found under the microscope. So they were strains that were supposed to be there and they were not in the product, or vice versa. They were strains that were not supposed to be there. And with omega 3, it may be contaminated, it may be oxidized because omega 3 is sensitive to temperature. So if it's stored for a long time on the shelf, you actually consume omega 3 that is oxidized. Oxidation is what EBV already produces. So instead of having protection and antioxidant quality, you're getting more oxidative stress from a product that you paid for. As you can see, omega 3 can also be contaminated with mercury. It needs to be distilled molecularly. Not every company will take that effort. Not every company is meticulous about where the fish is, about using the smallest fish like sardines and anchovies, so they're lowest on the contamination level, and so on and so forth. So, like I say, stay away from general stores that just have some supplements because the price is right. Number 3, don't assume your doctor knows supplements. So what you need to understand is that a traditionally trained medical doctor has very little experience and very little interest oftentimes, or belief. Some doctors don't believe in supplements. I don't know where that comes from because it's science. It's not religion. They are very well trained in pharmaceuticals, but not nutritional supplements. Unless the doctor is functional and has training and has dispensary, then the doctor, medical doctor, is not your go-to for supplementation recommendations and advice. Number 4 of not to do. More is better. More is not better. More is not always better. More is not better if you're doing supplementation on your own and there's nobody to guide you. That's what I would say. I'll give you examples. You may be really excited about vitamin D and you may be pushing too much vitamin D, but it's the wrong form, which you didn't realize, and it doesn't have cofactors, which you didn't know. And suddenly you develop arterial calcification, which is as bad as cholesterol plaque. So you may be increasing your risk of popping it and having a heart attack. Okay, that same vitamin D may induce calcification in your joints. So you have arthritis and it's painful, and it's this calcium from improper high supplementation of vitamin D. You can be supplementing with iron because you feel very fatigued, and you read somewhere that iron is good for fatigue. But if you don't have labs, then iron supplementation can be very dangerous. It can be detrimental. It can be extremely inflammatory for your brain. And even when you have children, they may think it's candy. It's actually child poisoning from iron is deadly, and it's the number one, I think number one cause of death in children from poisoning. And that's something. So more is better. Sometimes more is better in my practice when I know what I'm doing with a particular person, but I know what I'm doing and I know where I resource the particular supplement. Don't do more is better on your own. Number 5, the last thing not to do. And this is a big one, and please hear me on that. I'm really serious. Do not buy from individuals online that resell reputable brands of supplements. Let's say you go to eBay or you go to Amazon and you're looking for pure encapsulation selenium because you love it. I love it too. And you're looking for the price, so maybe Amazon pops on your screen and says, oh, this is the best price. Do not go for that. There is a reason why these are so inexpensive or under the price. And I can tell you that for most, or probably every single supplement company that I'm aware of, that I trust, that is reputable, will tell you it's illegal to sell their supplement, resell their supplement on these websites. And it's very difficult for companies to track and pursue these people and close them down. But there have been investigative reports, and I can tell you, if you get a liquid or a tincture, they may be diluted. supplements may be past the expiration date. They are mislabeled. They put new labels on them. You may not be getting what you think you're getting. They may be stolen. They may have been improperly stored. If you have, again, probiotics or omega-3 stored in a trunk of a car in summer, they are omega-3 is detrimental at this point. And so I don't want you to support these because you're saving a couple of dollars because you really don't know what you're getting. This is something that I will never do, and I provide PDF with reports, investigative reports on that actually to our community because it really is happening. It's a big business. Uh, okay, let's move to the positive news. Let's move to the 5 do's. What to do? Number 1, combos, yes or no? Let's discuss that. When you deal with EBV, yes, it's great to have omega-3, B complex, multi. These are foundational. I take these. It's good to take these no matter what your condition is, especially when you have EBV because you're so depleted for so many reasons. So these are combos. These are great. But when it comes to EBV infection, for therapeutic purposes, in order to turn down the virus, go for one ingredient supplements. I just mentioned selenium because it's very simple. It's one ingredient, one nutrient, but it's also a multitasker. It has a profound effect on your health on many levels, and that includes the EBV. And so I want you to stay away from combos like antiviral supplements because most companies, supplement companies, will provide those. They'll have a combo that is antiviral, but you're going to have 10 ingredients, botanical, herbal, some vitamin C, some this, some that, some this, zinc, and so on and so forth. None of this is at a therapeutic level that will move the needle for you. And so I think one of the reasons why our protocol has such a high success rate is that our protocol is based on individuals. And so one bottle is one ingredient, another bottle is another ingredient. So we have the freedom to increase the dose accordingly, therapeutically, depending on an individual, which is listed in my book, again, EBV Solution. It's just not possible to move the needle if you have all the combos, okay? So that's what I would say. I really want you to see that. It's much easier to increase the dose of, let's say, selenium to a maximum safety level and really drive that virus down and support many other functions like your liver and your thyroid function. It's much easier to do that if you separate it. If you have a combo, you can double or triple the dose because some of the ingredients, you may not be able to safely do that. Does it make sense? Right? Okay, number 2. Choose the best delivery. Delivery matters. It's not what you swallow, it's what you absorb. People say it's what you eat. It's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. So, the worst is pills. Pills are expensive poop. We have x-ray pictures showing it completely intact. I think it's an infamous picture. Senior multi, completely intact in the colon, ready to be poop, part of the poop. So in my almost 2 decades of clinical practice, I only have 3 or 4 supplements from very reputable brands that I love because they therapeutically do work, they do provide good results, and they are pills. And at least one of them is a pill, but it uses 2 technologies that strip the pill appropriately. It's not just a pill. Pills are hard. Capsules would be much better. Liquids, tinctures, droppers would be even better. IV solutions are most effective but can be really hard, can be too aggressive, and not sustainable, and can be expensive. Now, my go-to whenever I can, and this is one of the most favorite solutions for a lot of our community, especially people with impaired gut for any reason, leaky gut, permeability, food sensitivities, allergies, celiac. That is an isotonic solution. Isotonic solution has an absorption rate that is almost as high as IV. In fact, some IV solutions use isotonic solutions in emergency medicine. And so there is a company that created isotonic line of supplements. So we have B vitamins, we have antioxidants, um, we have minerals, we have B complex. And so I have a portal with that company. It's called Kinds, which is my name, Wellness Solutions.com. And on that portal, you see Isotonic line. It's a Nutrimetrics brand for practitioners. So you can become a client and tap into this. It's isotonic solution. You mix powder with water exactly in a ratio that mimics your bodily fluids, saliva, blood, tears, and sweat. And when you drink that, the body really thinks it's your bodily fluids. So nothing needs to be broken down. The absorption is about 10 minutes and it's 90% plus rate of absorption. You don't get that rate with any capsules or liquids. Looks like liquid, but it's an isotonic liquid. So this is great for malabsorption and when you're underweight and when you struggle with foods. So delivery is number 2. Number 3, follow the science. So if you are excited about a particular botanical herbal, or you read about beta glucans, how great they are for EBV, for example, or astaxanthin. But what does that mean? I love to follow the science. That's what I would say. Follow the science. So it's great to follow a company that formulates supplements, let's say beta glucans, based on a study. So if there is a fantastic study on beta glucans showing, look, all this improvement in people, and this is what it does. These are the results, and it's really inspiring. You want a company that goes back to the resourcing. What kind of beta glucans they're using? What was the potency that provided the results? Where is the resourcing? Looking for the right resourcing, clean material, not taking shortcuts, and then formulating a product exactly to match the study, because then you have predictability. And I love predictability. We're not guessing. So then you have the potency that worked, not more, not less. It worked in the study. We use that. And so actually kindswellnesssolutions.com, that website, that supplement line is exactly the company that does that. So the astaxanthin or specialty things like astaxanthin or beta glucans, they are products specifically based on studies. Number 4, pick nutrients over botanicals if you're dealing with EBV. Um, First of all, if you use herbs, you want to be careful with them. Sometimes, an herb can be hard on the liver. So, again, work with somebody because you may not know that. You may have to check your liver enzymes every month or so just to make sure it's okay. Some botanicals are in tinctures in alcohol. I know that herbalists love alcohol because it's so potent. It brings the herb actually to really be effective. However, I will make a reservation for EBV. That is not ideal because liver is so impacted by the oxidative stress, that the toxicity from the virus already. So I prefer, if you use botanical, to find a version that is in vegetable-based glycerin. Okay, it's going to do the job. It's not going to be maybe as potent as the alcohol one, but stay away from alcohol. Um, so botanicals do not move the needle. So herbs can't do what a selenium can do. They're not nutrients. So they only do a certain thing for your immune system, maybe, but they're not going to move the needle for EBV. And I found clinically I can use one or two as an adjunct, but I don't see that particular botanicals deliver sustainable recovery to majority of cases. So I need predictability. I work with things that work for most people. and nutrients do. Little things like selenium. Again, this is a very good example of a nutrient based, multitasking, anti EBV agent. Superstar. So we're using superstars. So you pick one over the other. And number five, last but not least, work with a functional practitioner, functional medical doctor, naturopathic doctor, osteopathic doctor. My favorite would be an experienced clinical nutritionist because I think we are really most best equipped for nutritional supplements. So look for somebody. Basically, this is what we do. We really, really can help a lot brainstorm or streamline supplements and also bring your supplements and have them evaluated. I've done that for almost 20 years. It's amazing what this industry creates, what kind of products you can have, and they will just not deliver. So you can be popping 20 supplements and not getting better. It's not uncommon. Um, so I would say don't get overexcited when you read about a supplement that it's the best next thing and it's going to turn off the virus. No, you need a synergy of multitaskers like selenium. So you can bring the book EBV Solution to a nutritionist. They will understand the chapter on supplements perfectly well and they will jump into deep waters with you and keep you safe and optimize and strategize your supplements. We read labels with you, we train you, we provide alternatives, we tell you if this supplement is useless or dangerous or not effective because the dose is wrong or form is wrong. So even 1 hour with a trained clinical nutritionist can really save you a lot of grief, a lot of money, and unnecessary headaches or upset stomachs, and the conviction that nutritional supplements are expensive and useless. So there we go. This is kind of a longer video training, but I thought it's really important for you to see saving money. You can be blinded by this concept. You have to understand that in order to really turn down the virus with supplements, you have to be strategic. You have to work with somebody, get some help, get my book. I will post two websites under this video. Again, Kind's Wellness Solutions is one, and the other one is a website we created that has my preferred one single ingredient multitasking superstars. We have them there listed as EBV bundles, so you can evaluate them. That's the quality you're looking for. Thanks so much, and I hope this will help you keep your head straight with those darn supplements, and so they can help you.